Hello and welcome to Thinking About Star Realms, Chapter 1, Mission 1. This is the first mission, so this is a fairly easy one. We have 30 health to the AI's 25, so it's going to be fairly easy to do, so nothing we do is likely to lose us the game. But with a market like this, I see that it's fairly cheap, so going for a trade pod's probably not a good idea. If I had 4 trade, maybe I'd go for a patrol mech, since that gives us a good balance of combat and trade. But with only 3 trade, our choices are the Imperial Frigate or the Battle Pod. With the Frigate, we are getting a little bit of discard. Some people say that 1 discard isn't very good. I like it early game, just because it might be the difference between my opponent having 4 and 5 trade. The Battle Pod will give us some trade row control, but the Imperial Frigate can ally well with the War World, so that's what we're going to go with. The AI picks up the Battle Pod and Imperial Fighter. The Imperial Fighter would have worked well in our deck, and the Battle Pod is kind of an expected buy. So we are stuck with 3 trade, with a trade row where our choices are the Federation Shuttle, the Trade Pod, or an Explorer. Now, the Explorer is probably not a good buy with such a cheap row, but I think it's still better than the Trade Pod or the Federation Shuttle, just because we can scrap it for the 2 damage later, so that's what we're going to go with. With 4 trade, we have 3 good options. The Space Station, to ally with our Imperial Frigate. We have the Patrol Mech, which, as I mentioned, gives us 5 combat and 3 trade, or we have their Cycling Station. I think their Cycling Station will accelerate our deck fairly well, and I think this is the second deck, so we should have enough good cards that being able to discard and redraw is worth it. So we buy that. Good. The AI got rid of the big ship for us, though we still have the Dreadnought here. And as I mentioned before, the War World will work well with the Frigate, so let's go with that. Now the question is, do we scrap the Explorer or not? I think we're still early enough in the game that leaving it around for another go-around is worth it. Probably scrap it next deck. Now, do we discard a Scout or Viper? The 1 damage from the Viper is likely not going to do much, but do we have anything that we want to buy with the 4 Scouts? Well, for 4 we have the Patrol Mech and the Space Station, while for less we have the Missile Bot and Battle Station. I think the Missile Bot is still worth buying. The scrap on it is not going to do much to accelerate our deck, but still, 2 damage is fine. So 5 damage is better. So let's go with the Patrol Mech. So discard the Viper. Play the 4 Scouts and grab our Patrol Mech. And we have a Stealth Needle, which the AI did not buy. Well, it is an easy AI. So, we have the recycling station. Which we can either get the one trade or discard 2 and redraw 2. So what would we want to draw? We have the Explorer and the War World. Getting the War World would be nice, and getting the Explorer is not going to be enough for the Stealth Needle. So, might as well take the trade and get the Stealth Needle. Then play the Frigate with an ally, and we're done. Do we scrap it for the draw? Not yet. Now the Ram is a nice card, and we are a little bit behind on health, but nothing to worry about. Discard this Down Viper because buying anything is not worth it at this point. Okay, out the War World, Viper, Explorer. Not worth buying anything for 2. Deal the damage. Yep, and go on. Play the Frigate first, because we probably will want to scrap it to draw. With this low of health, the game is probably not going to go for the next shuffle. We have 5 trade, so we can buy a Battle Mech or the Blob Destroyer in case the game lasts another shuffle. And buying's probably not going to come back to haunt us because the AI is not going to be able to use anything it buys. So, might as well take the Blob Destroyer just in case we can draw it next turn since we only have 4 cards left in our deck. And that is that. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, why not make your own videos? I want to see a lot of Star Realms strategy walkthroughs on YouTube.